over in the EFL, as Stockport County are your leaders over in League 2. Will they still be there this coming midweek? We're going to take a look next. That's right, folks. Bob's coming on a prediction video today. We're taking a look at match number 15, of course, over in League 2. And we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button back. All things Rovers related, League 2 related, world football related. We're going to all hear, boys, under one rooski. Guess what? Who's joining them in the automatics? It's Notts County and Crewe Alexandra. Oh, my days. They've come out of nowhere to, of course, be in the automatics. Deadpool FC breathing down their necks as well, though, as they try to get into the automatics box to join their fellow promoted team last season. We'll get into it all of it in a second. Of course, a big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, of course. You know who you are. And again, make sure you smash your like, do yourselves a favour, and of course, do the channel a favour, of course, and subscribe. A whopping 80% of you, or 78% of you, are not subscribed. So let's get into the deep end then, shall we? Of course, have a look at how I got on and how you guys got on and all that kind of jazz over in the past weekend's action, of course. So here we go then, recapping the results. I don't have my picks on here because the time is running out and the graphic was all botched up last time. You remember, you were there. So let's get in the deep end then and have a look at, of course, the results. Of course, I'm not going to go over my picks. We'll go over your picks, or at least who did well. Newport County with a big 3-3 draw against Walsall. Of course, Tranmere Rovers lost at home. Big win on the road for Doncaster. They're on the climb recently. Of course, Mansfield against the Vegans was postponed. Accrington Stanley, but off the field dramas there with the owner having an absolute nightmare over on Twitter, going, declaring the club is for sale. But a big 1-0 win for them on the day over MK Dons, pushing them into the playoffs right now. Barrow 0, Wimbledon 0. Of course, they've dropped out of the playoffs. Bradford 1, Wrexham 1, Colchester 1, Harrogate 2, Crawley 2, Alexandra 4 with a 6-goal thriller there. Gillingham, they did lose at home to Notts County again. Harris no longer the manager over there. Meanwhile, Salford 2, Swindon 2, Stockport County 3, Grimsby 2, Sutton 2, and Morecambe, big fat 3 there. They're on the move as well. Of course, that's the situation in the league with the games. This, of course, is the situation in the prediction league. Of course, kicking ass and taking names is James BCFC. He is great with 9, of course, 9 of 12. Well done. It's around about 75%, maybe more than that, because there was only 11 games going on this weekend. Frosty's up there, Ollie as well, and then, of course, the chasing pack. What about the overall leaderboard? Well, the situation is pretty much as you were. Andy, we're top the pops with James BCFC up there now with him. Of course, Russell Frost also in the mixer as well. But, of course, that can all change this coming weekend. If you do see your name in there, you know what to do. Smash your like. Let's get into the next round of games then in just 1 second. A recap of the situation in the tables. Stockport County lead the charge. Notts County are right on their heels there. Of course, Crewe, Alexandra, who could be top with a win and everything else going their way this midweek. Going down, Colchester United and Sutton United. Tranmere Forest Green are also in a bit of trouble there as well. MK Dons not doing wonders either down the foot of the table. This is the link. Cut Forest League 2 still wide open. So get in there with your picks. Let's see if you can out-predict me. The prediction king. Luna is back. Bless her. She's going to come join me and lie down here. My little sweetheart. She's going to keep on going, of course. And the next round of games are right here. Take a little look at them. Which one is your game of the day? I do like the look of Crewe and Stockport County first against third. We'll get into that one now, of course. So let's get the deep end then. Let's not waste no more time and talk about a zinger right here. Crewe against Stockport County. Played each other 18 times since 1997. Got 5 wins for Crewe. We've got 9 for Stockport County. 4 draws as well. Biggest win for Crewe, 2-0 win. They've actually come into this on back-to-back wins, 58% form for them right now, but of course we'll talk about that shortly. 19 goals scored against Stockport over the course of those 18 games, 1.06 goals a game. Now we get Stockport, who've got, of course, picked up 9 wins. 4-1 win was their biggest, 30 goals scored in the 18 matches, 1.67 goals a game ratio. They're, of course, winning at least 6 on the spin, 100% form for them right now. Top with 29 points. We get to Crewe, who are third with 26 points, of course. That's the round, though, at Crewe, at Grimsby Road. It was a 1-1 draw way back in, of course, January 2023, earlier in this year. Of course, look at the odds for this one. Then we have Crewe 10-3 for the victory. We have 11-4 is the draw. 5-4 is your away win. Tight one here. Could go either way. Going to go with a point apiece. And I think both sides will be happy with that, considering where they are in the table. Next up, we do have Doncaster Rovers on the climb up against Salford City. Still, not doing the greatest. But anyway, these two sides have played just the twice since 2022 and a win apiece as well. Biggest win, the only win for Doncaster was a 2-1 win. They scored 3 goals in those 2 matches. That's 1.50 goals a game. games. Salford, again, just a 1 win, 3-1 win it was, scoring 4 goals in the 2 games, averaging around about 2 goals a game. Of course, Salford, without a win in 3 now, 58% form for them right now. They're 16th with 17 points on the board. Of course, Doncaster on the move now to 17th in the table with 17 points on the board as well. 2 wins on the string, 50% success rate right now. And of course, coming into this last time around from the keep, 2-1 win it was for Doncaster back in August 2022. The odds right here, right now, we have Doncaster 11-8 for the victory, 12-5 is the draw, 90-10 is of course your Salford here. Going with the hosts here, 2-1 win. Doncaster were my tip for promotion at the start of the season. They're starting to show some form as well. Morecambe up against Tranmere Rovers over at the Aztec Arena. Played each other 11 times in 2006. 3 wins for Morecambe, 6 for Tranmere, and 2 draws. Of course, biggest win for Morecambe, 2-1 win, scoring 11 goals in those 11 matches. As of course a goal a game. Meanwhile, Tranmere's biggest win was a 5-1 win, scoring 18 goals in of course those 11 matches, 1.64 goals a game. Tranmere though 3 defeats on the spin right now, 25% form for them. They are 21st in the table with just 10 points. Up against Morecambe, of course, unbeaten in the last 6 games, 83% form for them right now. 10th for the table with 21 points right now. Last time around at Morecambe was, in fact, between these two sides back in May 2021. It was the semi-finals, League 2 playoffs, which ended up as a draw. Morecambe coming out on top, though, getting to that final. Last time they played each other in the league in regulation season, it was a 1-0 win for Tranmere back in January 2021. But the odds here for this one, Morecambe 31-20, 21-10, 21-20 for the victory here. We've got 12-5 is the draw, and 5-2 is your away win. Going to go with a 1-0 win for Morecambe. Of course, they are just outside the playoffs, looking to make a move to get into them. Next up, we have Walsall. They're taking on, of course, Crawley Town. That's right, at the best Scott now. These two sides have played each other 15 times since 2012. We've got 5 wins for Walsall, 4 for Crawley, and we've got 6 draws. Of course, biggest win for Walsall was a 5-0 win, scoring 22 goals in those 15 matches, 1.47 goals a game. Crawley on a bit of a downward slump right now. Played just the 1-0 win was their biggest, 17 goals scored in 15 matches. 4 defeats on the spin right now, but a 1.13 goals a game average against Walsall. 4 defeats on the spin, 33% form for them right now, 12 for the table with just 20 points. But Walsall on the flip side, 50% form for them right now, 1-2 lost to and drawn to, 13th in the table with 19 points on the board right now. Last time around at the best Scott was a 2-1 win for Walsall back in November 2022. But the odds right here, right now, we've got Walsall 23-20 for the victory, 12-5 is the draw, 9-4 is your way in. Crawley on a bit of a slump here. Going to go with a draw though. Point in the bag. Who's going to be happier? We'll see about that. The Vegans up against Barrow, of course. Vegans are in trouble. They're looking at a relegation. And the minute Barrow doing A-OK in around about mid-table. Of course, played each other 18 times in 2008. 6 wins for Forest Green, 5 for Barrow, and 7 draws. Of course, biggest win for the Vegans, 4-0 win, scoring 27 goals in those 18 matches, 1.50 goals a game. Up against Barrow, their biggest win, also 4-0 win. They've also scored 27 goals in those 18 matches, 1.50 goals a game as well. Barrow on 42% form right now without a win, though, in 5. They are 15th for the table with 18 points on the board. Up against Forest Green, back-to-back wins, of course, maybe a bit of uptick in form, 22nd in the table, 10 points on the board, 33% form for them in the last 6. Last time around, though, over in Vegan land, it was a 2-0 win for Forest Green back in November 2021, but the odds here, Forest Green 7-5 for their victory, 12-5 is the draw, 9-5 is your Barrow. Back in Barrow here with a 1-0 away win against a recently upticked Forest Green, but are struggling still this season. Grimsby against Colchester, a bit of a relegation 6-pointer at the minute. Now these two sides have played each other 14 times in 2003. We've got 5 wins for Grimsby, 5 wins for Colchester, and 4 draws, of course. Biggest win for Grimsby was a 2-0 win, scoring 16 goals in those 14 matches, 1.14 goals a game. As for Colchester, an identical record here. Their biggest win, a 2-0 win, scoring 16 goals in 14 matches, 1.14 goals a game. They're on 33% form right now. Colchester just 1 win in 5. They're 23rd at the table with 10 points on the board. Up against Grimsby, 1 win in 6 for them, 25% form for them, 20th in the table with 14 points on the board. Last time around, over in Grimsby, it was a 1-0 win for Colchester back in February 2023. The home side's only won once, and the last 6, that's when Colchester beat Grimsby in Colchester way back in December 2020. But the odds right here right now, Grimsby 11-10 for the victory. We have 12-5 is the draw, and 12-5 is also your away win. Can't be tight here. Very, very tight. Going to give it to Grimsby. 2-1 win for them to take it to the house. Next up, we have Harrogate Town up against Mansfield Town. Of course, over in Harrogate. Played each other 7 times in 2020. 6 wins for Harrogate, nothing for Mansfield, and 1 draw. Of course, biggest win for Harrogate was a 3-0 win, scoring 13 goals in those 7 games, 1.86 goals a game. Up against Mansfield, they've yet to beat them. Of course, 3 goals just scored in the 7 matches, 0.43 goals a game. Mansfield, though, red hot at the minute. Of course, 6th in the table, unbeaten in the last 6, 75% form for them right now. Up against Harrogate, 50% form for them right now, 1-3 and lost 3. 14th for the table with 19 points on the board. Last time around, though, in Harrogate was a 3-0 win for Harrogate. Of course, that was back in November 2022, but the odds right here, right now, Harrogate 7-2 for the victory, 10-7 on is your Mansfield, 14-5 is the draw. This is where they get their victory here. Mansfield with a 2-0 win. 3 points in the bag, and let's see them move up the trains as well. MK Dons up against Bradford City, coming at you over at the Stadium MK. Now, these two sides have played each other 24 times since 1999. We've got 9 wins for MK, we've got 12 wins for Bradford, and we've got 3 draws, of course. Biggest win from MK Dons was a 4-1 win, scoring 41 goals in those 24 matches, 1.71 goals a game. Up against Bradford, of course, their biggest win, 4-1 win, scoring 46 goals in 24 matches, 1.92 goals a game. Bradford are on a bit of a upward trajectory right now, unbeaten in the last 4, 58% form for them over the last 6, 11th in the table. Meanwhile, MK Dons struggling right now, 25% form for them right now, without a win in the last 6, down to 18th, 16 points on the board right now. The odds here, MK Dons 13-10 for the victory, 2-1 is your away win, and Bradford are 12-5 for the W. Actually, scrap that. 12-5 is your draw, 2-1 is your Bradford here. Going to go with a 1-0 away day win here for Bradford. MK Dons struggling. Bradford doing all right now. Notts County up against Newport County in the battle of the ends. That's right, coming at you over at Notts County. Played each other 8 times since 2015. Got 3 wins for Notts County, 4 for Newport County, and 1 draw. Biggest win for the hosts here, 3-0 win, scored 12 goals in 8 matches, 1.50 goals a game. Newport County, their biggest win, a 4-1 win, scoring 15 goals in those 8 matches, 1.88 goals a game. Newport County, 2 wins the last 6, 19 for the table, with 15 points on the board. Up against Notts County, 2 wins the last 6, 42% form for them right now. They are second in the table with 27 points on the board right now. Last round at Notts County was a 3-2 win back in August 2018. They're unbeaten against Newport County over the last 4, picking up 3 wins and a draw as well. Last the odds here, 13-8 on is your Newport County. Scrap that. 13-8 on is your Notts County. We've got the 3-1 is your draw. 70-4 is, of course, your visitors, which is Newport County. Going with the hosts here, bit of it shit. 2-1 win for them, 3 points in the bag, and of course remaining in the automatic. Swindon Town up against Gillingham, coming at you over in Swindon. Now played each other 20 times. 2006, we've got 5 wins for Swindon, 8 wins for Gillingham, and that's a cheeky, sneaky peek. Look at the score there. 7 draws, of course. Biggest win for Swindon, 5-0 win, scoring 26 goals in 20 matches, 1.30 goals a game. Up against Gillingham, their biggest win, a 5-0 win, also scoring 35 goals in 20 games, 1.75 goals a game. Gillingham just 1 win in 6 for them, 25% form for them. Of course, 9th in the table with 22 points on the board. Up against Swindon, they're coming at you with 42% form, back-to-back games now without a loss. 5th in the table with 23 points on the board. Of course, heading into this match. Last time around, they're over in Swindon, 3-3 draw it was back in January 2023. Gillingham unbeaten against Swindon over the last 4, picking up 2 wins and 2 draws. But the odds here for this one, Swindon 2019 on for the victory, 12-5 is draw, and 14-5 is your way. When you did see it earlier, sneak peek, 2-0 when it was confirmed as well. Next up, we have Wimbledon up against Stanley. Like I said, a bit of a drama going off with Stanley right now, with the owner declaring the club for sale this past weekend. Played each other 20 times, these two sides, 5 wins for Wimbledon, 10 for Accrington. Stanley got 5 draws, of course. Biggest win for Wimbledon, 5-1 win, scoring 29 goals in those 20 matches, 1.45 goals a game. Stanley, their biggest win, 4-0 win, scoring 34 goals in 20 matches, 1.70 goals a game. Stanley are up to 7th right now, 23 points on the board, 75% form for them heading into this, 4 wins on the bounce. Up against Wimbledon, who are in 8th, 22 points on the board right now, 67% form for them, but of course without a win in 3. Last round at Wimbledon, it was a 4-3 win for Stanley back in, of course, April 2022. That was, of course, last season. The home side's only won once of the last 6. That's when Stanley beat Wimbledon in Accrington back in February 2020. But the odds here, we have Wimbledon 10-7 on for the victory, 11-4 is the draw, 50-4 is your away win. I like Stanley, but I think Wimbledon will nick this one due to the drama that's going on off the field now. Wrexham FC, AFC, whatever you want to call it, Deadpool FC. We get Sutton United coming at you over in Wales. Now, these two sides have played 11 times since 2013, 4 for Wrexham, 3 for Sutton, and 4 draws, of course. Biggest win for Wrexham, 5-0 win, scoring 15 goals in 11 games, 1.36 goals a game. Sutton United, though, their biggest win, 3-0 win, scoring 10 goals in 11 games, 0.91 goals a game. Sutton United, 2 wins the last 6, 33% form for them, are now 24th, rock bottom of the table, of course, 7 points on the board. Up against Wrexham, unbeaten in the last 6, however, pick up 3 wins of the last 4, 75% form for them right now, of course, 4th at the table, and 24 points on the board. Last time around in Wales, it was a 4-0 win for Wrexham back in November 2020. Of course, the odds here, we have Wrexham 5-2 on for the victory. We have 50-4 is the draw. 11-2 is your away win here. We are backing Deadpool FC with the victory here. 3-0 win for them, comfortably done. And of course, that should move them up into possibly the automatics. We'll see in a second. That's, of course, confirmation of my picks. And of course, that is, of course, a link to the prediction league. But this is what the table will look like. It will be Stockport County remaining tip at the top of the table, Notts County remaining in 2nd, and Crewe in 3rd. Wrexham up to 4th, level on points with Crewe, Alexandra. Swindon, Mansfield, and Wimbledon make up the playoffs. Going down, Sutton United and Colchester United. That's, of course, my picks. Be sure to get your own picks in as well. And don't forget to subscribe. A whopping 78% of you are not subscribed. So get those numbers in. And, of course, do yourself a favor. And, of course, get the YouTube algorithm working for you guys. And, of course, by doing that, you got to smash the old like. Until then, guys, I'll see you soon for the next.